Hello, welcome back to the ministry. And the Lord brought this up to me after I finished my last video. And He brought the understanding of the word apathy. And I said, apathy? I was doing my laundry, just processing what He was trying to tell me. And I knew what apathy was because I was listening to a minister talking about this the other day. Actually, it was a few weeks ago she mentioned it. And I looked it up. And it's lack of interest, concern, or what's the last word? Interest, concern, or enthusiasm towards a situation. Okay. Now, for those of us that have been in the kingdom marriage journey, some of us, for our own spiritual safety, we kind of unknowingly slipped into a state of apathy to protect our hearts in relation to our covenant promises. So we slipped over there in order to remove interest in these things, to dim down our enthusiasm, and to no longer operate in a level of concern in relation to especially our marriage promises. But what the Lord has brought my attention to is, as I finished the last word, I was talking about a person that has multiple personality disorder not being able to differentiate themselves from each individual personality. But the narcissistic person is truly operating under 4 different demonic principalities that are in control individually of their personalities, that they literally have no association to any of these individual personalities themselves, because it is literally legions of demons that they are dealing with, but choose to operate in their person like, I don't care, I have no understanding. I don't know what you're talking about. But this person operating on what society calls a spirit of narcissism is the person disassociating themselves from each individual spiritual deity, what have you want to call it, spiritual spirit that is in actual operation that they allow to take control in, call it, a individual personality. Okay? And with that being said, the actual person has no care, much like the person operating in the spirit of apathy having no care. The Lord was bringing my attention to, while I was folding my laundry, that I was reminded of a scene from my TV show that the main character cares, she's genuine. An incident occurred, catch this, that, and I think that episode comes on tonight, that the person was trying to draw or lure this person that had a good reputation, a good history about themselves. They personally was a good person, but because of what they did, had a level of persecution. Come on now. I was just looking at this scripture this morning. Come on here. Here we go. I'm about to show you. Let me see. Go into the camera. Because I took a screenshot of it. Didn't know why I took a screenshot of it, but I see now. Matthew 5:11. Blessed are ye when man shall reveal you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. What the Lord was showing me in this was the fact that with this particular person, they're a good person, good-hearted person, all this type of stuff. But the level of persecution that comes against the person that's authentic and genuine is usually a level of ridiculous. And it's like, what the heck did I do to deserve this level? Because your heart is so pure that people will try to taint, tarnish, or project. We talked about this in the previous one. They will try to project their issues, project their multiple personality disorder onto you, and you sitting up there like, I don't receive that. I don't. And it's funny, I was listening to in the interim between coming back here a video from Trust and Obedience and Imagine Ministries where she was talking about when you make the decision to set boundaries, pretty much all the demons in other people will pop up. And that's the truth. Meaning you'll be able to see individually each personality in another person because it'll pop up as soon as they realize they can no longer control you. But what does this have to do with apathy? Going back to the episode I was talking about, the girl was trying to lure the good girl into doing bad things. And the woman was actually falling for it. She was slowly doing it. Even when it came down to, she made the excuse for they had to go get something. And she went with her because the woman tried to do something illegally in order to get it. And she just was trying to tell her how to do it. And she was going along with the plan until she came to the realization, oh yeah, this is illegal because they got caught. When as incrementally as this person was pushing, and because of this, I'm going to say this. For some of you, what happened to your God ordained spouses and or people associated with you, family members, friends, what have you, will happen to them just like this young woman was lured. She was literally lured into, first time I have you do something ever so lightly like this. That's no big deal. Let's just tell a little lie. Then let's go in here and let's steal something. We're going to do that. But I mean, we needed it, didn't we? We needed it at that particular moment. So, I mean, it's justified for the situation that we were in, right? Even though they ended up in the back of a police car. Then lastly, that situation came to a point where the person committed a murder. Okay? Why do I still talk about apathy in this? Because that person that committed a murder, who actually was operating in that same narcissistic spirit, committed murder and said, I don't care. She's like, what do you mean? And this is usually the part where in the TV series, you will hear that music, dun, 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 or something like it to point out the person really didn't care. In reference to what we previously talked about, these people have that multiple personality about themselves that they will be, okay, I'll murder this person, but I'm going to go act like myself in this one, or I'm going to go act like what I need to, because this particular person also tried to act as a victim narcissist as well in latter points. But she was very bad at lying. I mean, anybody with common sense could see through that. But some of these people whether they are people you associate yourself with, people that have attacked you, people associated with your kingdom spouse. These people operate in these multiple personalities, and they're fine as long as you don't recognize the split between their personalities and don't call their demons out for the demons that they are. Jezebel, Baal, pride, Leviathan. As long as you don't call them out, they good. But that's just like a person operating on what society calls a narcissist spirit. The second you call them out, that's when they rise up and show you that they're demons. That's when you see a level of demonic infiltration in that person. That's like, oh, you see me now. Then it's like it tries to overpower you with its level of persecution. Matthew 5:11. Because you exposed it. But it don't care, operating at a level of apathy and disinterest, as long as things are going in its pattern. Because in that particular episode that's probably coming on tonight, God always does that. I be talking about something, and then he brings it to my attention, and then when I calculate it, the very same episode is coming on either that night or within days of it. I'm like, really? That the person is operating in apathy as long as they get what they want. I'm not interested, I don't care. But because they are about self-preservation, as soon as they realize you're no longer on board, they will do whatever necessary to control you, which they can't really do. But they will use a level of intimidation, domination, fear tactics, and confusion to keep you in that level of control. But when you try to talk to them about it and really confront them and say, what's wrong with you? They say, I don't care. And she say, I don't care. Which keeps bringing me back to that Beyonce song lyric. In the first part, when they realize, in reference to just that person's understand, when they realize that you understand. Let me show you. Okay, when they realize that you've realized it, just like in these lyrics, it literally says that people told me about the flames. I couldn't see through the smoke. When I needed answers, accusations, what you mean you gonna choke? When a person realizes that their jig is up and they're caught in the middle of their scheme, the best thing they can do is rapid fire questions at you to bring you into a level of confusion that you're like, well, they brought so many questions. Wait. You're trying to mentally process their confusion and tomfoolery that they're trying to bring at you, because they're bringing to you accusation, persecution, because you've come to the recognition of the fact that this person is operating on something that I don't want to be involved in. And that person is now demanding answers because, oh, what you mean? What you mean you going to do this? What you mean you going to do that? What you mean? What you mean? You're not going to do anything? What do you mean? What you mean you going to choke? So this person is only disinterested as long as their plan's working. But then when they see that their jig is up, they must immediately rapid fire question. It's what one of the ministers I listened to call an alligator roll, where they roll you up and bring you into a level. What an alligator does is roll their victim to a point of dizziness before it kills them. bringing the person into a level of confusion that they don't even know, and they do it with particular questioning or manipulative answers that makes the person think they're crazy for even questioning the person in the first place. Okay. But when they understand this, remember, they got the multiple personality, right? They will switch between that personality to another. They'll do it sometimes in the same conversation. They'll go from, I'm your best friend, hey, we together, let's talk about this, to the next personality that is accusatory, to the next personality that is, I'm going to be a victim right now because I'm going to see if I can get this to work in order to. But these type of people are fully aware of what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. They understand their personalities to a point that they can pull that card whenever they're ready. They can pull that card whenever they're ready. Why? Because they can switch. When I need accusation, what you mean you gonna choke? They start out calm. Then they start accusing. Then they switch. Let's see. Hold on, give me 1 second. I see it, but I don't. Okay, I found what I was looking for. It's a line, which is the literal bridge to this song. The bridge states, this is how the person switches. They were just accusatory. They were screaming in the person's face. Was it not? You remember how this song went, right? So they were just screaming in the person's face. But then they turn around and then turn and say, in that moment when you see her sitting on the couch, how can you look at me and not see all the things that I kept only just for you? Why would you risk that? Is that the price that I have to pay? Which then makes them the victim. They literally went from accusing you to now becoming the victim. Okay? But due to the fact of the matter is they switch here, 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 here in the midst of the same conversation. And then what do they operate? In a level of disassociation with the situation, because they have multiple personalities and they have them in carded order. They have them in exact order. They know which card to pull and who to pull it with, who they need to pull it with. And anybody come out of alignment outside of that card that they done pulled, then they pull out the dark one, that Mr. Hyde, which is going to cause them to go from answers accusations to, I'm going to just straight take you out right now. This is where you find there's Jezebel. This Jezebel's the one that tries to kill and dominate. And then you have the person operating in the Baal spirit, which is actually Jezzy's daughter. I can never pronounce her name. I can see it in my head. It's Apathy or something like that. I can't really pronounce it. But she operated in the spirit of Baal. She had an air of godliness, but there was no God in her. But if you read her dossier, she operated for 7 years and killed and massacred multiple people during that 7-year period. And she usurped. Catch this. She usurped, meaning she forcibly took that position afterwards. Meaning a person usurping, meaning they stole the authority. It was not given to them. It was stolen. And this person or people operating in this spirit don't care. Apathy. That they will do anything. If you have a person, and I was listening to this What was I watching? Was I watching a TV program or was I listening to somebody's video? Somebody was saying a person, that's what they said. A person that is suicidal is 9 times out of 10 homicidal. That's what it was. So if a person is willing to take themselves out, they 9 times out of 10 would be willing to kill somebody else. All it is in the moment making a choice. And these people that are about self-preservation would kill. They would take it to a point of death to kill to protect themselves because they operate in a level of apathy that they just don't care. No interest, enthusiasm, or concern about that situation or the people involved with it. And I just keep hearing the character in that TV show that was operating under this spirit said, but see, you don't get it. The person literally had just killed somebody, and the main character who was the heroine, the character that was the valiant and good person, was trying to actually talk down this person and say, look, we can help you. Look, we can do this. Look, we can. And she said, but you don't get it. I don't care. And she kept telling her that. I do not care. These people are the most dangerous people. Now, the blessing in the situation is it took another 2 to 3 years. But when she finally got herself together, she did turn over a new leaf. But it took somebody standing in her corner for her to change her life and actually want to change, because she needed to see that person. And it had to be somebody that understood what she had been through, that got down to the root of her problem, that was able to pull the little girl out of her, that was able to get to the root of her problem and let her deal with herself. And then she had her Paul Saul moment. Not everybody is willing to do that. Some people, they just gonna do what they do. They are so far gone that they really do not care. There is no changing them. There is no saving them. They just are going to be who they are. You can pray for them. You can hope. But at a certain point in time, when the Lord himself says, I'm done waiting on this person, I gave them chance after chance. Because some of you have prayed for these people that have been operating in a level. I know I have. I've prayed for people that operate in that spirit. I've prayed for people that have that kind of level of projection and multiple personality. I pray for them. I pray that they renounce. I pray they denounce. I pray they come out of alignment with all of their confusion. I pray that they uproot that. I pray. I literally was sitting in the shower this morning because it was something that the Lord had brought my attention to last night. And we had a serious conversation about this. And this morning when I was praying about it or talking to the Lord, which started this series of videos, it was that level of understanding that you can want a person to change. You could sit there and say, you could go to scripturally in the book of Joshua. In the book of Joshua, there was the man, right, who stole he stole a cup, he stole some gold, and he stole something else. And the Lord had Joshua pull out the person. He said, find the person. He found the person. The person finally admitted what they did. And the Lord knew that person was going to admit what they did. And when he admitted what he did, the Lord told him, I need him and I need the rest of his family. Now, one might sit there and say, well, God, why would you take out the rest of them? He's the one that did it. I got to take everybody out. Why? There's a scripture in, is it Ezra? I got it, but I think it's on this phone because I have notes and I have a full note that I keep certain prayers on, and I think it's in this phone that has that entire scripture. But it was the prophet who had laid in front of the temple, and this prophet's representative was reading off the edict. Was it Ezra 2? 8 through 10 or something? 2, 8 through or something, or 8, 2 through something. But in it, he was talking about, he was laid prostrate before the temple, and he said that they have to come out of alignment and agreement with foreign wives and foreign children, right? Let's go back to Jezebel and Apathy. Jezebel's mom, Apathy's daughter. Foreign wives, foreign children. If this person has the spirit in them, it is a concern that the spirit will come upon the child. Therefore, they have to take them and the child out. Okay? If you even go back to when I talked about the film Breaking Dawn Part 2, remember the council's concern was that the child was going to be a danger. I just wanted to bring that point up. That what it is that spirit can go from generation to generation. This is what generational curses are. So when God said in the book of Joshua, I need to kill the person and their wife and their kids, I gotta make sure I gotta take all of that out, because it said in that scripture, I don't even think I have I don't think my tablet's charged, so I can't even pull it up. But in this scripture, where the prophet is laid across the temple, he's literally saying, you have to take out the foreign wives and the foreign children. It's a foreign thing. It's a strange fire. You gotta take it out, because that thing has no care, operating in a level of apathy. Jezebel killed, but her daughter killed and massacred too, in that 7-year period when she usurped the throne. What am I saying? We as children of God, some of us, our hearts are so good that we'd be like, do we have to kill them? Can't you just pull them out of position, drop them all the way down to the bottom, and then give them no access? And God be like, I have to take this issue out. It seemed like a harsh punishment for in the book of Joshua to take that man and kill him because he stole. Then to kill his wife and his children. But God's like, I have to take them out, because the spirits on that line are not going to stop. Let's go back to the schizophrenia I was talking about. It's what spirits did I say? Pride, Leviathan, Baal, Jezebel, and now we've had Apathy, which is Jezebel's daughter. Why? Because the person no longer cares. They have no interest, no enthusiasm, and absolutely no concern. And because of that, they will not stop. This is what truly made me sit down yesterday and talk to God about this. Was it some things that the Lord had revealed to me, and I'm not going to talk about them. And then he brought me to a video by Elisa Marie, and it was talking about a dream that she had had. And it talked about the person luring a person into a trap only to kill them. Not once. One was about spiritually destroying them or destroying their character externally. But the second dream was about destroying them, meaning I'm not only just going to kill you, I'm going to make sure you're fully destroyed to the point of nothing being left. So I had to sit down with the Lord and have a conversation, because I'm like, you brought this revelation to me for a reason. And with the other revelations that you have brought into me, what are we talking about here? If a person no longer cares, this makes them extremely dangerous. I mentioned this in the Jacob, Hercules, Samson word. I don't know which part I said it in. But there's some people that they know they going to hell with gasoline drawers on. They know it. So they say, I'm going to lure as many people as possible to hell with me. I don't care to what circumstance I got to go through to get them there. Because what? They operate in apathy, meaning they what? I don't care. They no longer care. So they will do anything to persecute and then bring about death, premature death to another individual because they don't care. So when God makes a decision, some of us would say and try our best not to kill that. But God says, if I don't kill that, it's going to breed. If I don't destroy that, it's going to continue. It's like when you think of cancer. Cancer is something that overgrows and continues to take out and continue to grow until it kills completely from the inside out. That's what the curse of information is. It's the starter for cancer. It can go left, it can go right. It can have mucus, it can have this, it can have that. It's the starter. It's the spark that can bring about a flame that kills.